starting on the little Datsun. So yeah, yesterday went pretty well, not gonna lie. Really happy with the job we got done. Had a bunch of chat with Jeff in the evening, talking about what we're gonna do with the actual fuel gauge setup, because he's also involved in that, because he likes those kind of challenge. And basically pretty sure I've figured out a way to make that work, but that's gonna be for later on. I still need to take a look at a few different things, but pretty sure we're gonna find a way to drive that to the gauge properly, and it's gonna be awesome. For now, that thing here is gonna live inside the trunk of the Datsun, so we won't lose it because it's gonna be close to where it needs to be. That's some big brain shit. Can I actually put it even in there? That will be even better. There you go, protected from dust in the plastic bag. We love that. Heck yeah, easy. So what's up today? Today, honestly, we're kind of waiting for the wheel bearings to arrive. They might arrive during the stream, which will be quite insane. Other than that, we have a bunch of little things we can fiddle around on the car to actually get a bunch of stuff done and prepared for putting the engine inside the car, because we're getting there. I'm pretty sure we are getting there. Basically right now, the way I see this is we finish installing the wheels at the rear. Then once this is done, I'm gonna be able to, in between the two stream, push the car outside, flip it around, and bring it back inside with basically the front towards us here, which will allow us to start sitting the engine inside it. So we're getting there slowly but surely. And today what I have in mind is probably make sure that we torque everything at the back for the subframe and suspension setup. Then move to the actual wheel brake maybe. I would love to take a look maybe at the brake kit, the big brake kit at the rear, and see if I can actually fit it in place even if we don't have the studs. I'm unsure of that because basically the thickness of the disc might give us a bit of problem with how we're gonna be able to bolt the studs or not on top of it. But if it fits, we're gonna install that, and then we could move at the front and start torquing everything. I would have liked to have the car flip around for that, but at this point we might as well do that. First of all though, this morning we're gonna start with Ayaya. Ayaya, Ayaya, wow. Calling me an old man like that. All right, get out of here. No, stay, please, please. I was old last night, that's true. You are right, I am wrong. Hope you had a great last raid. I hope it wasn't that raid you say, oh, we should have just went to bed. Hope it was fantastic. Good morning, Hawk. Hope you're doing great. So let's start with, I would say, three little thing here. We received these. What are these? We have a new oil filter. This one should. The other one was supposed to fit and it didn't, but it was like a 13-16 thread pattern. This one is M22 thread pattern, which should fit what we have in there. So this oil filter should fit in place. We have received the brand new thermostat to actually fit that water pump because the other one was too long. And we received the new belt. This one should be the length of what we need. So it is a 1840 millimeter long. This is what we measured by ourselves. So we're gonna test that also just to make sure if I have to return it or not. So this is going to be the first thing this morning. So first of all, we're going to close that. Put the Datsun up in the air and move the unit here so I can have access to the engine. Hey, good morning, Rack. Hope you're doing amazing this morning. Raise my child. What's that emote? It looks funny. Good morning, good morning. We're starting on some different small thing. Nice. Well, that sounds great. Happy to hear that, but hey, the bed was really, really good too. Sleeping is fantastic. Honk, honk. Oh, Rack. Rack, wanna see something? Dual side. You are officially part of the garage. You live on the hoist forever now. Forever! Front cam, that's a nice butt. Hey, there you go. So yeah, because of the 10 gifted, you are now part of that, because those 10 gifted also bring us to the 100 sub goals. So thank you again so much for that. Really appreciate that. And basically just makes sense that with 10 gifted, your name will be living on forever on my car lift, right? So there you go. You are part of that now. That small but increasing number of people living on there. There we go. Let's get access to some engine action right here. So the way it's going right now, I'm really thinking that next week we're gonna be good to start installing the actual engine in place, which will lead to installing the transmission and clutch and everything in place, which is something that sounds wonderful. So can't wait for that. Dual side. Dual side. There you go. Hey. So engine wise this morning, what are we doing? First of all, we're gonna do the easy step of installing an oil filter. That was supposed to be easy last time too, but you know, the oil filter in question was not fitting. So we're just gonna throw that in here, see if it fits. Hey, that one's fitting, let's go, win. So we're just going to install that here. So little Wix XP oil filter, good quality one. So that one's done here. So that's already a plus, pre-fill that right now. Well, no, not now, because I'm just putting it in place to prevent dust and stuff to go back up in there. But I'm not pre-filling or anything right now because I'm not putting oil in it right now. Because basically what's going to happen is that we're gonna use that plug on the side here to prime the engine with engine oil before the first start. But we're gonna wait for everything to be sitting in the car for that, because we're still going to have access to all of that. So grr, frown eyebrow to you. We're gonna do that later on. But yeah, that's true that on those ones you can pre-fill it. We're not putting engine oil in that just yet, because fuck that. After that, it's gonna make a mess every time I want to remove it. I'm gonna wait until the first start to do something like that. That was a 8 mil, right? Heck yeah. We're gonna go there. Hum. But yeah, that's a good shout on that one. Didn't know, actually I've never done that pre-filling an oil filter, but it makes sense on a fresh build, and even like in probably a lot of application, it will just make sense to do that. Because usually when I'm doing an oil change, you can hear it go like because there's a lot of cars they are sideways also, so that makes them possible to pre-fill. But you can hear on the first start for the first 10 seconds a little knocking sound because the oil pressure is a bit low, and then boop, it went back up, and you're all good. So that, let's try to push that a little bit. That's 30. All right, there we go. And now, are we able to put the little thermostat in there? Let's put that over here on the keyboard. All right, there you go, there. So we had trouble fitting that in here last time. Is it still the case? Hey, that one's fitting. Wow, 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 wow. Just like it was meant to be there. Incredible. So last time it was not fitting at all. It was impossible to push it in place and everything. Now that one is a great, great fitment, and it's gonna go right here. So we're gonna get that done. And we're gonna also take back that, putting that on top, that gasket here, and then this. Let's try not to throw all the bolts on the ground. So the engine's gonna be one step closer to being ready to fire up. There. There. Sounds good. That and that. There we go. Thermostat acquired. Let's go. So that's some easy stuff this morning. Now, the belt. The belt's gonna be the real challenge, I think, because we cannot put the main pulley in place again for good. So, yep. Because we cannot lock the engine right now in position, so that's why it's so hard to actually get it done properly. Let me grab that said pulley. Right about here. I'm gonna need to find a way to line up the top that's under here. Gonna need to maybe cast, like to make a mark somewhere to actually get a proper, or just follow the key channel there. Will maybe do it? That's an excellent question. So I'm just pushing it a little bit so it won't fall to the ground while we're trying to fit that belt on the top of it. So as we remember, we added that in place, so that's quite good. We have all our pulleys in place also. So now what we're looking for is that the belt I ordered in the first place was supposed to take into account the power steering super big pulley on top here, and there's none. And I've just done a stupid thing. There you go. So just to give you must be shitting me. They sent me a broken belt. Actually, it's cutted. Ah! You must be kidding me, bro. There ain't no way. Someone break it and send it back probably. Oh my God. All right, well, we're gonna have something sent back to Amazon. We can still use that to actually verify if the length is good, but you understand that this is not supposed to be like this. This is, wow, I've never seen that before. I've never ever seen that before. There we go. There we go. And it was also damaged right here. Someone, that was a used belt. Look at this. What the heck? Holy, that's really not good. All right, let's try to see if the length seems to be working in here. But that sucks, honestly. Wow. I've never seen that ever. So I think we're gonna have some fun to fit that on top here, because I think it's gonna be a tight fit. Because it seems like we might be missing just a touch. It's gonna be easier to see with a full belt, but hey, gonna try to maybe check if I can get another one that's gonna be a little bit, just a touch longer, because basically, as I said, all I need to make sure is that when it's going around here, that we don't have to extend it too much, otherwise we're gonna get to that place, like, let me show you again. But basically, if we're going too intense, we're gonna get pretty much like to the thermostat housing, but here we can still like remove a bunch of loose there, so we should be good with maybe a touch longer on the belt size. Oh man, I've never seen that before. Honestly, it's incredible. I can't believe that went through. Probably someone, like I said, returned that. Honestly, you know what that is? I can already tell you what happened. Someone bought that belt and it was too long, so they cut it, because this is like a sharp cut right there. They cut it and used it to measure, because basically if you're doing exactly what I just did, you can see like, oh, I'm missing a centimeter on top here, and basically you're just gonna get like a precise measurement. So you can also do the same thing we did, where basically you throw it all around, and if you cut it this way, when it overlaps like this, you can just make a mark and then measure, okay, from here to the end here, that's gonna be my measurement. And that's some stuff you can do to have the proper belt measure. But yeah, nah, having that like that, never seen that before. Holy. All right, well, I know a belt that's gonna be sent back to Amazon. At least it's not too far to send back some packages, because when it's like Summit Racing or Rock Auto or anything like that, I have to go like quite far, honestly. But that one shouldn't be too bad. I can't wait for Rack to be back and see this. It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm gonna try to fit it back in the packaging. A belt like you have never seen before, damn right. I don't know if I'm going to order again from that company too, because honestly I feel like it's awful. There we go. I'm just going to put that back in there. Ugh. There you go, boom. Okay, well, no belt this morning. Oh, that engine still look gorgeous though. Let's take a little picture just because it's beautiful. And I don't think I have one with all the pulley and everything. Oi. Wow. There you go. So we can remove that, and now time to send it back in its box for a while, because we still cannot put that in place. There you go. All right. So with that done now, let's take a look to the car, because we don't have much things to do on that thing here, and pretty much the next step is going to be to remove the top section here once it's in the car to put the intake and everything. So honestly for now that's staying as is. The best I could do is probably block those ports right here and maybe do the same on the side, and I think I still have a bit of masking tape. Ooh, that one I don't think we're gonna go far with that. But we're just gonna try to prevent any dirt from getting in there. Now that we know we are good with that. Pretty much everything that's green is a place where we're gonna need to plug something also, so it's kind of a good reminder of what you need to do on all that. And ideally I would say exhaust too, but exhaust is a bit less of a concern, because basically it's gonna be pressure pushing outside and not pressure bringing the stuff, the dirt inside. So that's why I'm not too concerned about it. So just like that, I think we're doing pretty good right now. So yep. Fitment's so great, honestly. I really love how the engine look right now. There we go. Shall we start moving to the car? Front cam. There you go. Now, what are we going to do today on the car itself? Like I said, I think this morning we're gonna take a quick look at the big brake setup for the rear, see if we can fit the wheel on top of the disc. So that way, that means if we can, well, we're gonna be able to just assemble the big brake kit on this side to get a hand out of it. So when we receive the wheel bearing for that side, for the passenger side, we're gonna be able to assemble the entire side there all at once. Then we're also going to be able to take a look at the handbrake setup while we have the rear of the car towards us, and from there that's gonna make it a bit accessible, and that's gonna like remove a few boxes on the bottom of the shelf there, well, the workbench. So that will be quite a good thing. So with that said, let's go on and do that. I'm gonna grab a little tool to help me put and remove the wheel multiple times. So this, I'm not going to grab the big impact, just the small one, because I'm not putting a lot of pressure anyway on those. Dual side. I need an extension to be fair. A small one, but I still need an extension. The battery is just laying against the wheel. There you go. So with that said, let's take a look here. So first thing first, well, we have a wheel bearing and everything assembled here, which is great. I think the first thing we're gonna do is grab the actual disc brake that's gonna sit on top here, just because I want to test if with the disc brake if I still have enough threads, because as you can see these studs are cut, and that's old me who did that, like young me back in the days who did that, and not the greatest things to do, but hey, we're gonna replace that with some 70 mil hardened studs, so not too bad, not too bad. So we're gonna grab a disc brake here. So let me do that. Up. Let's remove these. Let's try to get that out. This and disc brake. We might be able to fit everything actually, because here's the new disc brake. So compared to what we had, these are vented disc brake and they are dual pattern. Oh, they are also fitting a 5 stud. Interesting. So obviously I think we're gonna have enough threads to be able to bolt the wheel back on. Let's try it, because if it's fitting, we might be installing the entire big brake kit on that wheel at least. Because that's the only thing that could be a big problem, that and the fitment of the caliper. But I'm a bit less concerned about that last thing. Oh, I say that. well, we'll see, okay? We will see. Because we don't need a lot of threads for now. It's just to hold it. It's not going to roll like that. Yep, we can bolt that in place. So we're gonna test it, because if I have to order some new wheels, it's gonna be soon, because we're gonna need that. Because ideally, if that fits like that at the back, or is it stuck? That one's getting stuck. I'm gonna grab another one then. There you go. All right, I'm saying I'm not concerned, but yum, 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 yum. Not gonna lie, if we remove that, there's not a lot of space for a caliper between the wheel and the disc brake, so that's gonna be a test. That's sick though, they look wild. They look really wild. So let's keep going with that. We're gonna do a little fitment test. Let's try to install the big brake. I think it's quite a fun task for this morning. And it's gonna answer a lot of little questions. There we go. So, from there, that's gotta be fitting on top there, but first we have a bracket to install in here. So let me grab the stuff for that. That. All right, is there any sides to put them? They are the same part number, so they don't have an orientation there. That means I can go with all that. and I should be good to try to figure out, sorry for that. I should be good to try to figure out what's up with all that. So, from here, one of these two brackets gonna fit in here. We have to figure out which one. We have a R, we have a L, so right and left. This is going to be left. Let's grab that. Beautiful piece done by Technotoy Tuning. I already took a look at it, but basically just to give you a rough idea. If you're looking here, what's amazing is that you have some engraved stuff in there. So the L is in the corner here, say left. You have all the torque spec for every single bolt written with them. 6 feet per pound for that one, 6 feet per pound here, 40 feet per pound that one. So you see you have a bunch of different stuff like that. So now it's really just about trying to fit that in here. And I think that's gonna be something like that, to be fair. So we're gonna take a look. I'm gonna pop also a picture of them installed in another car on their website, because that's gonna give us quite a good idea. Technotoy Tuning. Let's go back on their website. T3 is really an awesome company. I've already said that multiple times, but gosh, they know what they're doing. Is there any more picture of your brake kit? Not really. Installation maybe? Not really. I think it's gonna fit the way they are. That. All right, let me try to figure out. And I know on Apex Engineered website, they are actually using stuff. Good morning, Jeff.
Oi. More passion, more passion, more passion, more energy, more energy, more footwork, more passion, more energy, more energy.
Heck yeah. All right, that's what I wanted to see. There you go. I can show it to you guys. How you doing, man? Gonna zoom on the picture. There you go, there you go. Pretty good, love to hear that. Doing great this morning. So there you go, bracket here, you can see how it's going, and the caliper is gonna be sitting on top like this. So this is what we're looking for. This is the setup we need to reach. So let's do that. Honestly, I'm doing pretty good this morning. Everything is going pretty straightforward. I just had the worst belt experience ever, man. Like, I've never seen that before. I've never ever seen that before. You wanna see it? I'm gonna take it out again. Wait, I'm gonna give you the full experience. It's not properly seated in there. All right, so me about 30 minutes ago. All right, we're gonna try to fit that belt onto the car. So this is a new belt with the proper length that we need for the accessories at the front. Let's take it out of there. Do you see a little problem with the belt? Is there something wrong, you think, with it? It's brand new, straight from Amazon. Do you think there's something a little bit wrong with it? Why is it cut in a sharp way? Fucking hell! Yeah. Yeah, glue it. I'm gonna drill a hole or two and do some stitch and tie wrap. A few stitches here and there. That's gonna make it, right? It's gonna do it. Honestly, I've never seen that. So that was how it was in the packaging, and basically, it's also damaged right here. And I think if it works, it works. Yeah, right. And I think I know what happened with that deal. That's what I was explaining. I think someone ordered it, and it was too long. It was too long for their setup or something, so they cut it right there. So, cause it's really a sharp cut. Like, you cannot go wrong. It didn't break or anything. It's cut it sharp, but the packaging is all in good condition. So that was cut to basically overlap it like this around their pulleys, mark and measure the proper length they needed. And then they repackaged that, make sure it was not showing up, and send that back saying like, oh, I don't need it anymore. And so the company just put it back in the shelf and just sold it again to me. I'm 100% convinced this is what happened. So, yep. Fun time. There's like no shot. It's so dumb. But you know, I'm saying it, and you know I'm right. There we go. Because basically, if I put it like that, it looks perfect. Like, nothing wrong here. I'm destroyed. Faith in humanity lost. But hey, no big deal. We're gonna figure that out eventually. I mean, just part of the game. So in the meantime, we're setting up the big brake kit on the driver's side at the rear to see how it's fitting, and then we're gonna see where we're heading. But basically, until the bearings for the for the passenger side are here, we cannot basically put that back in, like everything back together, and start putting the engine in. But as soon as this is done, I'm probably going to flip the Datsun around once we have our setup at the rear, and then start working on putting the engine inside the car. Yeah, well, yes, but not if you package it like that, right? Like just like that, it looks almost normal. But yeah, I know what you mean. You see the loop, but right now, yeah, no. You usually see the loop. Yeah, I know what you mean. But sometimes they do look like that actually when they are packaged, because they are really tightly fitted in there. But hey, part of the game. So let's move back to the big brake, because that's some Gucci stuff. I needed a 10 mil there. It's just those little things, you know. Dual side. I need an 11 mil actually. Hey, because American company won't use on, well, that's not true. Usually 10 mil is used quite a lot. They are just different. Built different. Yep, that's fitting well. So we're gonna be removing these two bolts because we need that for the actual setup. Then we're gonna move on to actually putting the bracket in place. So that's gonna be our first main concern here. Can I fit that on top? Not really. We're just gonna go with that. Just a little gentle push right here. That rusty part's gonna look so bad compared to everything else. I really need to do some Por 15 on top of that, honestly, to make it glossy black. Should have probably done it since I had still a bunch left. I should have done it while I had it out, but hey, I just feel like it won't be that long to undo everything one more time when we're gonna do more the aesthetic aspect of the build. And that's not going to be for right now. It's just that since it's seated on the bench for the entire weekend, if we had done that last week, it would have been quite great. So let's take a look in here what we have for that hardware setup. So this is caliper to bracket, and here we have bracket to spindle. That sounds about right. Look at this, everything's labeled and everything. We love to see that. So the only thing I'm a little bit sad about is that there's really no like instruction or anything for something that custom. So it just sucks a little bit because you have to guess how you're gonna assemble everything. Like it will make sense to do that. There's enough washer and lock washer to do that. So I think this is the idea here, a lock washer plus a washer. And then that going like this is going to do that like that. And it seems to make sense. And then I have two small bolts. I think it's for the front end right here. Look at that. So many colors now on the car. But at least it's beautiful colors. That, and these are probably just not fitting back in. Yep, nope. So that's why I'm gonna have to use their very own bolts right here with just a lock washer on those. Yep, seems like it. Because basically right there, that was the bolt for also the backing plate, which we're not going to reuse. It seems like when you look at this, we're not going to put anything because otherwise it wouldn't fit with that set bracket right there. So no, no backing plate. And also we're not going to reuse the backing plate bolts because they are not long enough. So we need to reuse these ones here instead. You know, I just need to figure out where it should be fitting. And hopefully everything's gonna fit perfectly in place. Hard to tell. I can tell if I'm lining up or not. Maybe I should have put the bracket in place before putting back the hub. Even that one is quite short, I will say. That here, that there. And then the only thing I have left here is pretty much that. That's fitting so far. Whoop. Let me grab the tools. Yeah, I will try to do that, Jeff. I think it's gonna help. And also bring Allen Key to help me start it. So Gonna remove that because yeah, basically since they are the hardest to line up right now, might as well do that. With all those custom parts, I'm always just a little bit afraid of fitment issue and getting something really hard to fit or not lining up properly. I feel like that differential bushing at the back, the bushing at the back was not fitting, but yeah, we're gonna try that. There we go. Because right now, if we're just looking at it, we have a bit of threads, but honestly not that long. I'm pretty sure. Feels like it won't be long enough. Let's try it. Because with the lock washer and everything, I start to have a doubt. Because I just have that. Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out. I'm gonna grab another one. Just check if I can find the proper Allen key for it. There you go, that's the one. Nailed it. Nailed it. Up there, like so. That's clearly not in its spot, or maybe it was. Oh yeah, I should have done that with no spindle in. So the other side, we might do it now actually, because that will be so much easier. All right then, if you don't want to go, let's try the other one. Just like that. Gonna be able to see if it was supposed to fit. Wait, what? Feels like it should be starting to thread, but it is not. Because I still have loops in there. I don't understand what's going on. All right, you know what? Since that one, we have too much thing in our way, we're gonna start on the other side to see if we can figure out what's going on easily on that other side there. So let's come with me, we're moving around. Oh, I just kicked. I'm gonna leave you there for now. Remove something from our way. That. Yeah, the hub is really not helping. So since we have no hub right now and the bracket would not be in the way of installing the bearings, we might be able to do most of it right here. I don't mind removing the hub if needed. I just want to make sure everything's supposed to fit. First of all, I mean, Apex Engineer developed the kit with that T3 because basically it's two brand. The bracket, like that bracket and the big brake kit is a different brand than this. I scratched, no. And so yeah, so this is Apex Engineer, this is T3, but both of them work together for most of those stuff. And basically Apex designed their rear subframe with that bracket in place. That actually the picture I've showed on the screen like a few minutes ago was from the Apex Engineered website, and it was to see how the Technotoy tuning, the T3 bracket was in place and how the caliper was mounted. So that's giving you a good idea. All right, there we go, there we go. Now, that one here. Ooh, that was tight. All right, there you go. That. Gonna have a bit of cleanup to do inside that hub right here before throwing the bearing in place, but it's all good. Now with that done, we have the right side bracket like this. Let's try to push that in place. See, I cannot, seems like I cannot just go in there. All right, let's remove the lock washer, see if it's helping us at all. Nope, I don't have long enough for the bolts. Exactly what I didn't want to do. That hurts my feelings. Little scratch on the aluminum. But it's okay. It's okay, I'm gonna survive. So, ouch, yep. It's okay, just a little scratch there. So the big thing with that, I wouldn't be too worried to actually install it without these bolts, because basically that bracket like is supposed to bolt here, but you have like the main bolt at the back here, so that's no big deal. However, I would love to see if I can find what kind of bolt that is to buy one that is a bit longer. Do I have anything similar left in here? Actually, I have one looking really similar. Probably not the right thread. Oh, it is the right thread, I think. No, maybe not. I will need to go to the hardware shop for real this time, because I feel like I'm missing a bunch of little things. I don't think I'm gonna have anything decent for that, that's for sure. It's sad because these ones, if it was the right thread, I have a couple of them, but they are not really longer, just like a millimeter longer. So not enough thread to my taste, because basically that's going all the way through anyway, so it can be a bit too long and it will still be okay. Oh, wait. That's too big. I'm gonna try on the other hole there, just because that one was a bit harder to remove. that one here. That fits. It's some square head bolts, which is a bit weird, but if that will do. I mean, it's threading. Let me grab a screwdriver to just test it. Not the right. I mean, these are working. Yep. All right, we might have something here. I'm not a fan of having some square head instead of Allen key things, but if I have 4 of them, that will be a win. Let me grab the right screwdriver for that one. You, sir. That means it's something we can easily find at the store, probably, question mark. So I could easily replace them. I have at least 3. Do I have 4? Of course I won't have 4. Only 3. All right, we're gonna install this side. This side or the other side brackets. Probably worth the other, a little bit more on the other side. Actually, I can like put 1 in here. Because if I go to the hardware shop tonight, anyway, I have to go make the grocery. So I could actually, I could run to the hardware shop and grab something a bit more proper for the job here. A bit that suits better the application. But there we go. For now, we're gonna put that one in here, like so. Is that the right screwdriver that I bring? Yeah. But that here, like so. And then the big bolts at the back. Yep, the only thing with custom things like that is when you don't have any instruction or anything, it's a bit like less fun to work with because you kind of need to find everything and make sure everything's fitting in place and all. So it's really hard to like make sure you're not doing something wrong, but at the same time it should be pretty obvious if you are doing something wrong. So there we go. That one seems a little bit hard to fit. I'm just going to release that a little bit. Cool. There we go. Let me grab a ratchet with and hello Raminta, how you doing this morning? Hope you're doing fantastic. Perfecto. That worked, damn. Of course, it's not going to clear, but that bottom one there should clear. let me grab another tool. You're a rebel watching some Twitch on job. Wow. Appreciate that. Come on, dude. You know what it means. If it's not threading, it's maybe not lined up. Well, doesn't seem that bad. Oh. Fair, fair, fair. Just like me when I'm working from home, usually in the cinema industry. Well, I mean, I'm pretty much alone, eh? So I'm always watching Twitch or something on the side. And I'm missing that a little bit. Like right now, I'm the guy doing Twitch, but I'm not the guy watching it and saying stupid things in chat, you know? I feel like the fitment's gonna be a tough one on this. Because it is always a problem, I guess. Because right here, I don't see how that one's gonna fit. And if that one was about to fit, the other one wouldn't. Like I said, I'm not too stressed with those. The best I can do so is maybe remove that one and see if the one at the front is better. Right here to make it lined up properly. Nope, not at all. It's actually offsetting it. So I don't know if it's that control arm that is not properly in place, or if it is that bracket. Well, like I said, honestly, with the amount of torque on those, I'm kind of not too stressed about it. Let me try something else. I think these two are a plus to have, but not a must. Because if I have that one in here, and then that one at the bottom, I will say the only kind of concern with that is that the pressure is applied on a pivot point, so maybe that could be, but actually it's spinning, so it's trying to push that towards the inside, so even that wouldn't be too bad. To see that, and that wouldn't be too bad. And now I think I might be able to fit that one right here. There we go. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not, but we're not missing a lot though. It's almost going, but it's not. What is it not? Why is it not fitting in place? That's an excellent question. We're gonna finish bolting it up and see how it's looking. Ah, the custom life. There we go. Let's just skimp a little bit on something. But now I don't even think it's gonna line up. But honestly, anyone think that's gonna be dangerous like that? I don't think so. Because that, and we need to torque that. It's not moving at all. So even if we're missing that because it's not lining up, I have bigger concern in my life than that, I think. Because that's definitely not going in place. Oh, heck no. It's all twisted and on the side. All right. This is the bracket. This is where it's not lining up. There and there. That sucks a little bit. I would have loved to keep everything in place properly, but still, there's no play in that, so I don't think that's gonna be a big issue. I'm just curious, maybe I will message T3. Still, they have a really good I am the danger. Non, c'est ça, Jeff. The alignment of the holes and everything is really not great, and just because of that, I'm not really concerned because these are like not applying force or anything, but I just think they could prevent some bending left to right on the furthest point of the bracket. So I'm gonna take a picture of it and send that actually to Technotoy to see like, hey, I ordered everything as it was supposed to be and it's not lining up. What's up with that? So there you go. Gonna do that. We're gonna go back on the other side for now. Gonna leave it like this. I can still do the wheel bearing job from both sides and everything, so that's no big deal. Because basically this is going this way and the caliper is coming straight on top here. So we're gonna try to do the same exact thing on the other side. Right here. Boom. Quand ils ont soudé la braquette, comme ça, tu vois que ça. Oh, you think? What do you mean? Which bracket? The. Oh! I get what you mean. That bracket here, when it was welded to the back here, that's the one that should be lining it up. That's fair. Like I said, I'm surprised because basically that kit here should be a straight bolt on that, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like if I was to push that up, that the distance, the clearance on it. But I mean, even there, if I'm lining up that hole at the bottom there, I cannot line up the one on the corner here. So that's what surprised me a little bit. As I said, basically with the disc brake and everything, the thing I'm not too worried about is that this is gonna try to push like that in that motion, not really that motion, because basically it's the disc, we're applying pressure and it's trying to grab the caliper towards the front, which is impossible for it to move. Yep, I think honestly, if I had to put a guess on what it is, tolerance maybe in that thing here, even though it should be like laser cut and everything, and same a bit with that, like the tolerances. The only other thing I could see is that I had to mention that this is for a 79 car, because the 79 and 80 280 ZX are not do not have the same brake system as the 81 to 83 280 ZX. So that means because of that there might be a bit of a difference, but I don't think it's the hub itself more than the bracket, the placement of that here, that is actually a concern, because they just changed the style At least the welding are looking great, but yeah, I feel what you mean. I get what you mean there. So for now, I'm just gonna go with that. Like I said, I'm gonna see with what they are saying to me, what they are replying to me, if it's a big concern or not. But for now, we're gonna assemble that, because we want to see if it fits. There we go. Pom 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 pom. There we go. So I'm gonna go with that one. There we go, and now I'm gonna grab the torque wrench, torque those, and we're gonna keep going on installing like everything, the hardware and everything in there. All right, let's take the mid torque range. That's in here, and it's probably all greasy still. Heck yeah, like so. 40 feet per pound, which is not that intense. It's just a good amount. There, I'm gonna do the same thing quickly on the other side. There we go. So first part of the big brake setup done. Now let's keep going with the rest of it by installing the actual disc and caliper, and we're gonna see how it's looking. So with that, I threw the disc somewhere, probably back in place over there, so I'm just gonna do that. Actually, I had it here. Did I set it back there? Probably. Yeah, back in its spot. So that here, that there. That like this. And let's take a look at the caliper right here. How is it going to fit on top? So basically quite simple. We have two mounting bolts, so it's gonna go right on top here. Easy. And now what I'm gonna have to take a look at is how the handbrake setup is gonna work. That I have no clue, and I have no clue how it's getting loaded and everything. So for now, we're just going to fit that on top. Caliper to bracket. Whew, that's sexy. That is sexy. Holy shit. I love to see that. So I don't know if it's the same size on top. I'm gonna have to find out. I'm gonna do that first, do that second. And I've already forgot how. I'm gonna go take a look on the other side actually. Please tell me it's all the same. Oh, it's all the same. We love that. Heck yeah. Because if I remember correctly, with these Willwood for piston, you can load them straight from the top. And basically what should happen is that the handbrake will grab in this, go through here, and when you apply pressure, it's gonna close that bracket here to apply pressure on both sides. There we go. Let me go check on the other side. What is the torque spec written on the bracket? 30. So 40 for the main and 30 for that rear, for that bracket, for the caliper itself. Pas vu, mais le caliper est monté comment sur ta braquette? It's 2 bolts straight at the top, bolting like this. So that bolt here going straight here, so it's going vertically on the bracket. So yeah, so that's why I'm not too concerned, because basically since it's bolted this way, it will just tend to try pivoting everything to the front, and it's, yep, quite a nice one, honestly. The unit, it looks great. It is looking fantastic. And it seems to be a performance, so you know. 30. Let's just double check that one to make sure I was seated. Heck yeah. And yeah, so basically, there was a little fee on top of that to have the handbrake, but basically the handbrake is those 2 brackets. So like I said, the cable's gonna probably come and like do a little sandwich style lever action here that's gonna apply pressure to both brackets, so to both brake pads. So yeah, gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna grab a set of pads actually and take a look also how they are supposed to fit in there, because I know we have a bunch of little things to put in place. So here, do I have, I'm gonna need to find where these are. But basically, what's cool with those kind of brake pads is that usually you can load them right in place like this. Performance brake pads are, like performance brake are usually quite cool for that. So there you go, we have the caliper right there. And normally, these, I should be able to just slip them in like so. Boom. How cool is that? Did you see that, Jeff? I know that's gonna be your jam. Having something like a caliper that you can basically load straight from top without disassembling anything. I mean, when you're doing a brake change on that, you're gonna have to push back the piston, so of course you have to remove everything. But for just maintenance, lubricating, cleaning them and all, yeah, right? Just having that, and it's just 2 pins on both sides here that's gonna lock them in place at the right height. And basically the anti-vibration is on the side here. There's a little metal plate that is just spring-loaded a little bit, so it's staying straight in its spot. Let me try to find the hardware for that. Ooh, interesting. I just need to find that then. Wait a second, I'm looking for something, because right now what I've realized is that the first one that we opened had already the locking pins in place. My God, tell me I'm not missing a bunch of stuff in there, because I will be mad AF. Because basically it is some zinc coated bracket on top that will lock your pads. So that's what I'm looking for right now. Are they the same color? Yeah. Look like a European brakes with the pin and all. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I don't remember having touched that at all, so I'm a bit pissed right now because I'm wondering if the pins are not missing for that. Honestly, that will be the worst morning in a while. Almost out. Gib. So the wheelwood thingy is here, because basically that's how it's supposed to look like, front cam. And I don't remember removing that at all at any point in my life, which kind of mean we might be missing those, and that is no Gucci. I'm gonna have to look around one good time to make sure I'm not saying something stupid, but I really feel like I'm missing a bit of hardware here. That I'm gonna throw that back in place here, and then I'm gonna install at least these, searching them like your evasion armband. Oh, F in chat. That's mean. That's actually just mean. Wow, you motherfucker. Dual side. There we go. Boom, just like that. I'm gonna put them on the same side. I don't know if actually it will look better the other way around, I guess. Like so. I don't know if that's probably going to flap around. I think you can add like maybe something in between those, but I'm not sure. There you go. And yeah, the handbrake is just going to apply that right there. Boom! Now the question is, are these clearing the wheel? Is it clearing the wheel, that entire thing right there? That's stressful. So I'm just gonna take another look in that box here. There's really nothing included with that one here. That sucks. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of parts. And I hate that. But I know the client service is really good. Like the customer service is really, really good with those companies. So we're gonna hope for the best. Well. Guess who is not fitting in there? That looks to me like a proper scratch right there. That looks to me like a wheel that is not going on top of that. All right. That's a yikes for now. With a spacer though. If I'm putting a spacer, maybe it will work. So we're gonna try to fit the spacer back on just to see if we're getting any lucky with that. So I had a spacer that I was using just to make it a bit more flush to the actual side. So we're just gonna test with that if it is doing the job or not. Because basically right now it's really the first the first handbrake bracket that is in our way. So that's not really cool. The hole? What hole? Oh, that hole, yeah, to fill the hole in the wheel arch. Yeah, we don't like that. We want something that is flush to the fender. If it's pushing inside, it's wrong. You need proper fitment. I'm just gonna put 2 of these in place because we are just testing right now. Pump, 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 pump. Ah, not the right size. I need a 19. I need a 19. I don't think that's gonna be enough, to be fair. I'm talking about like the spacer, if it's gonna push the wheel further enough, like far enough. Really not convinced, but hey, worth a try. 19 is perfect. How come I muted myself? Like I haven't said anything close to that. Nope. Noob, heck yeah. I'm gonna try with centering the actual wheel to see if it's removing the little noisy problem. That. Why is that lug nut sticking so much in there? All right, for now, it's gonna be like that. Oh. Nope. Me going out of work, I am going home, so I won't come back today unless very late. Ciao. Have a good evening. Hope you're gonna have fun. Take care and see you later. All right, so big brake setup 1. Little guy trying to make his Datsun work. All right, so we managed to push the scratch further back. So we went from that to that. I mean, progression, I guess. It will need to be, to clear, it will need to be in that section here. Hey, that's a damaged wheel. So, well. If it's not reality knocking to our door. The brake kit looks amazing, so. What's going on is the handbrake bracket that is hitting. So I could remove the bracket temporarily, but that's not the idea basically. But yeah, I could like unscrew that. It's just an add-on to the caliper itself. Otherwise it will fit. So, but I would love to have a handbrake that is working in that car. So yeah. My plan is not to do that, but to really make sure I'm clearing the biggest amount of brakes and stuff around here, because I really need that to be working great. One thing I can do right now is take my trusty ruler and see about how big in diameter I need, even though that won't be the diameter, but like, yeah, just double that, and it is, because that way I can ask the specific spec to work to see if the real wheel will work. Work. Well, I need about 175 millimeter, like more. I would say at least like 18, like 180 millimeter to, well, time 2 in diameter to make it work. So basically 360 millimeter, that's what I need. I need the inner side of the wheel, so that part right here, the inner side here needs to be 36 centimeter to clear properly all the brake setup. It could be a tiny bit less, but it needs to be yes, Jeff, I know, bigger wheel. That's the dilemma right now. I'm still unsure what I'm doing with that. So basically, the thing is, right now, these wheels are like technically, they are replicas, but basically these are something kind of era like matching to the car. So design that's really looking like the 70s and 80s in Japan and really looking great on that car. Basically, I would love to keep these, but in the real 3-piece wheel. So having one that you can remove the barrel from the inner barrel from the center, and they are not cheap, but you have way more spec with that. Also, these are just 7 inches wide. So right now, look, it's like a bubble on top here for only some 205 of threads. So it's some 205 by 50 by 15 inches. So and it's because that's only 7. The rim itself, the wheel is only 7 inches wide. I would love to go up to 8.5 inches to maybe 9 inches even. Like 9 inches will be freaking amazing. And the real wheel have that just in the back. Nah, that's another thing. I want to have the biggest wheel possible, but the same thing all around the car. I want a square setup because with what I'm doing on the track with it, it's just better. You can make better rotation of your wheels. It's just more fun. You don't have to think all the time about are my rear wheel due, but like not the front one. You always order like 4 tires at the same time. So honestly, it's just more fun to be able to switch it all around and everything. And usually you fit the biggest possible wheel at the back and the front is where you have a bit more constraint. So like it's not impossible. That could be like a possible setup or idea, but I will prefer to have a I mean, you say you're just kidding, but basically on most rear-wheel drive car, a staggered setup is the basics. It's just normal. So having like a wheel that's maybe an inch wider at the back than the front, because the front is just because it's pivoting. Because there's a rotation in there, you need a smaller tire. But if you are a sport car rear-wheel drive like Mustang, I think some of them have 10 inches wide tires at the back and like 8 inches wide at the front. So it's a thing that is doable, and technically the widest the better for any car. Like the wider tire you can fit, the better grip you will get. It's just physics at this point, and it's just that like I'm used to having a square setup, but part of me knows that if I can fit 10 inches at the back and 8 inches at the front, well, that should be what I do. The only big reason also on that is that I need to make sure what tire I can put on them. And that's where the biggest dilemma is right now. These wheels, like that one here, I can only get them in 15 inches. Nowadays, 15 inches wheels are not having a lot of tires available for performance usage. If I wanted a tire with a proper profile, because that one, by the way, is the total diameter of the wheel is too small for the car technically. It's like almost 10%, 15% smaller than the original thing that was on the car, and that makes everything like it makes the car lower but without a drop. So if you want to drop the actual body and suspension, you need to have a proper set of wheels in there. So honestly, it's like a big thing right now to know which wheel I'm gonna put on there and what tires are available for that. Because basically, if I wanted to put a tire that will be pretty much the same diameter than the original one on 15-inch wheel, 9 inches wide, I need to go with SUV tires. It makes no sense. That's not what the car is meant to have. It's not what the car purpose will be. So it makes absolutely no sense. So right now, the biggest one I can have is 245 by 40 by 15 inches in the it's a Nankang CRS, and if I think Advent A052, the A052 will be my go-to, to be fair. But yeah, that also means it's still a bit too small, and it's really limited to that. Like otherwise, the only other thing is some full slick Hoosier tire that I could put, but you cannot go on the street with that. So all that to say, it sucks. So it's really not that fun. Other possibility also is to basically maybe get a set of wheels for the street and one for the track, but you double the amount of money you need to put. I would love to have an all-around setup at first, like I did on the BMW, until I got a second set of wheel. And for the amount of time I'm spending on the track, it's not really worth having two set of wheels right now. Maybe it's gonna change, but for the first part of it, I would love to just go with something a bit more basic. So yeah, because the ideal setup will be basically 17 inches tires. And just to give you an idea, 17 inches wheels, because if I'm going with 17 inches wheel, I will have a setup really similar to my BMW. I think when I did the measurement in 17 inches, 245/40 is exactly what I'm running on the BMW, and it will be spot on the same diameter, like the same total diameter as what was on the car originally. So, but just wider. So that will be like a real win with that. So Oh, geeky stuff. It's so geeky when you're getting in that, and I'm still unsure of what I'm doing. 17 inches will clear the big brake kit, no problem. So that's also a thing I'm thinking about. So a lot of little details to think about. But for now, we're gonna have to remove the caliper because we need to be able to set the actual wheel on top because it needs to be able to get pushed outside and inside. So let's remove that. And I'm gonna also take a note to a message Technotoy to say, hey, my wheelwood caliper, one had the hardware, but the other one, nothing to be seen. Just looking around quickly to make sure I'm not saying stupid shit there, but I'm pretty sure I've never removed that and it's just not there at all. Almost threw a bunch of things on the ground. Gonna look in the front box, also the front brake setup box, just to make sure. But first of all, let's remove that top section there. But yeah, it's super geeky when you're getting into all those crazy stuff like that. I'm gonna have to take a look how to bleed the actual caliper too, because you have 4 bleeders for each, basically 1 per piston, so it's gonna be a learning curve that too. But for that one, I can use a power tool for sure. Like it's no big deal. All right, so a bunch of little concern this morning. Like nothing too crazy, but nothing to leave there and say, yeah, it's gonna be all right. Beautiful little unit there. So that's acting as a slider, like so, boom, boom, easy. Really looking amazing. And I just went outside of the metal plate, there you go. Awesome little unit there, incredible. Let's throw that back in its box. That was over here actually, so let's throw that in here. That, like this, like that. The bracket itself is gonna live in there for now. There's the disc brake we're also going to actually I think I'm gonna leave it in there for now. Because even the spacer can just stay in there. It's preventing everything from getting stuck. Are we having a contact here, sir? No, we're all good. I think. Oh ho. Well, hello there. Well, let's take a look.
Hello there.
Hello there. What's up, Only Cow? Good morning. We're testing the big brake kit on the Datsun, and it didn't went all the way as expected. There. The rear big brake kit was the one I was optimistic and saying, oh, it's gonna fit. And for now, we have a few little issues. Like nothing too crazy overall. Like one could be easily solved by removing the handbrake for now. But other than that, what I've just seen is that, hey, that one had a bit of frost happening. I just saw that it seems like it might be actually doing a contact point with that here, which is not really what we want. Maybe it's clearing, but that to me sounds like a contact. But that's sitting flush. Honestly, I don't know if it's but if it is, it's really on the far corner because it's not even removing paint or anodized material. Gonna put that back in here for now. That's the kind of thing that will just go away after driving it for a while. But right now, what I really think is going on, I think the bracket from Apex Engineer might be the one not exactly fitting in place, and that's a bit boring to be fair, because you have to move all that all together. Like there's no way to really adjust that, and so that just makes it a little bit out of place there. Like holes at the bottom here not fitting. Everything else was fitting okay. So I'm really like unsure of what to think about all that. Oh well, for now we're gonna throw the wheel back on the spot and yeah, nothing really we can do about it. That's a bit of a bummer. That's a little bit of a bummer. Let's throw back 2 bolts in place just to hold the wheel. That's gonna be enough for now, because we don't have to move it really far. That's the boring part of doing custom shit. You're paying a shit ton of money and you realize, hey, it's not fitting, yay! And you're like, well, where my money went then? And I'm sure a lot of car guys can relate to that. Come on, there we go. There we go. So that is in place. That is working. There's no sound in that one. Perfect. Whew. Part of it done. Part of it not just as good for now. So gonna have to take a look at all that. Like the handbrake setup can be solved by just bigger wheel, like, well, wheels with more clearance, so that's no big deal. And it can be undone for now at first. I'm looking on the other side to try to figure out how to get that there. And I said I will check basically over here in the boxes, because basically I'm looking for hardware for a caliper also, which is a bit boring. So basically that's my box here for the rear wheel setup there. That one's the one we just tested. That was fully loaded. The one on top here is the one that we removed the brackets from. They are not even the same gray. What is the part number on that one? All right, the part number are not the same either, I think, on the actual piece. So on the boxes, they were the same. 135.16. And that one here, because that might be why. It's supposed to be the same thing. I'm gonna take a picture of that actually. With both numbers in place. Like both are 135.16, but really different, and one had the hardware and the other one didn't. Am I able to see that pretty well? Yep, so I'm gonna be able to write to them about it. That sucks a little bit. They seem the same pretty much. I think the code difference is just the color, but it sucks a little bit. All right, that. So for now, I'm gonna throw it back in there. Like so. Like so. Because the part number itself has absolutely no difference at all. Is there? Maybe a wrong box. Oh, there is actually a difference right here. So I think they both would fit, but like it's stupid to pay such a price and having like different colors, different things. Like it looks odd a little bit. So let's throw that back in here. That here. So let's take a look in here what we get there. So we have the hub. Second hub. Did I put the hardwares in here? No, I think the only thing I've seen is that we have the pin on top here. Same matter, we're gonna be loading the pads from the top. Let's take a look at the second one to make sure everything's in there. This one has the bracket too, so we're all good. So this one has its hardware. Everything's great with that. We have the hats. Oh, that sound. We have the brake, the pads, the adapter plate, a pin that's not supposed to be in here, and all the hardware for the front. Well, perfect. That sounds like a complete order here. So we definitely are missing some hardware for one of the Willwood caliper. that, and the front here. There you go. Well, that's not the morning I was thinking of having, to be fair. Whew. What's next? Gonna start torquing a bunch of stuff in here. So the next step for today, I think today is gonna be quite a short stream, to be fair, because I feel like we're missing too much. Let's do that, and that. I think we're missing too much little thing here and there to have a conclusion day, and I don't feel like starting anything else and like be stuck at the middle of it because we receive parts to keep going there. Whew. One wheel in place. Then with that wheels, we're waiting the wheel bearings. Let me take a little look. Is there some parts at the door? No. Oh well. Let me check if it's delivered and it's now inside, because the girlfriend. All right, no delivery yet from the company. Yep, still waiting for that. Sag, because we could have tackled on that. All right, so next step, we're gonna just take a look at the torque setting for the rear, and we're gonna torque pretty much everything like those subframe bolts. These ones here, I'm not too concerned about them. It's really more the subframe here at the back, and we're gonna probably move at the front after that and start putting everything in there, like making sure everything is solid and well prepared. And then after that, we're gonna take a look if we're putting something else in place. Part of me would like to throw the differential in there just because it's gonna make the workbench a little bit more viable, like we're gonna be able to actually use it for something else. But part of me thinks it's a bit useless, because right now the more parts I'm putting on the car, the harder it's gonna be to push it outside on the snow and the ice and everything. So I'm like, might as well wait for that until we are ready to throw the mechanic in place. So I think that's gonna be what's up with that. So let's take a look at the differential, not the differential, but the actual rear subframe setup here. Let me grab a seat, and it's time to read a little story. So here we are. Gonna take a look in all that. That's some wheel stuff. So that one here is gonna be about 100 feet-pounds. Don't know why that's here, but let's take a look. Oh, we were talking about maybe installing the sway bar. Sway bar could be a thing. That could be a thing to do. We have a bunch of parts for that. Rear axle and rear suspension. That's pretty much where we're at. Just gonna take a look with what I had in here. That's the front suspension. Rear suspension, there you go. B, 58 to 72 for these ones here, I think. Yep, 58 to 72 makes sense. Still making sure I'm not saying something stupid, but no, I have the hat like that with the double bolts, the bushing, it's going in there. Yep, so that's B. 58 to 72, so we're gonna go 60, 65, something like that. And that's pretty much the only one we really have to be concerned about. And yep, the inner side, I said I was going to maybe reinforce it with a plate. That's a good idea, because basically the one I have in here, when I'm looking at the little diagram here, I can see there was a plate originally. They just replaced that at the body shop by something that's not meant to be in there. Oh, how surprising. So let's go. So basically we're gonna do these ones. So I said 65. 65 is gonna be the measure for that. I won't throw the book on the ground. I will bring it over here to a safe place. Do that. This, and I think that was 17 mil. I think. So let's take a look. Were they some 17 mils? Heck yeah, they were. So right here, we're gonna do basically that one right here, and the one on the other side at 65. So 65 right here. And that might take a lot of loose out of all that, because it's gonna crush basically the bushing in place and everything. Yeah, I see the bushing starting to get crushed. And I feel like it's starting to actually get harder. Oh, my torque wrench just moved a little. Yeah, I can see everything moving up right now, which is great. There we go. So that one's done. Now this one right here. So it's just going to be some stuff I don't have to think about anymore, which is awesome. Oh, we're close. Oh, it's getting hard too. We're still good on the torque wrench. I'm so tired of seeing you there. Just remove that here. There you go. That's where I'm so afraid to strip something. Oh, I think we might get there. Perfect. Whew. Looks like nothing, but that was tight. There we go. That's a beautiful part there. All right. I'm gonna grab also the hardware for the rear bolts, the rear brake system, because I don't want to lose anything. Just in case they ask me for more stuff, more info, whatever. Just want to have everything in my hand. I'm going to put that back in the box, here and there. That and that. That here. I have one concern now that I think of it. Why is that not the same here? Gonna check one thing quickly, guys. Just wait for it. It's a slow morning today. We're just trying to get everything right, but everything start to shit on us a little bit. I'm losing about 1.5 meals in between the top and bottom bracket. That I could probably fix it, because that means I'm gonna have to think about it. Because basically what is my concern right now is that the contact I had on my disc brake suggests that this part of the bracket here, if I'm showing you here, like so, like the bottom bolt here is closer to the wheel than the top one. So this bracket here, it feels like everything is a bit like not straight. So, I mean, there's worse than that definitely, but like, it's not really what you want to see. That wheel's getting easier and easier to spin, by the way, which is cool. So that's an improvement, but yep. Gonna have to think about all that, because that brake setup might be a pain in the ass to fit in there. You can see exactly where it was scratching at the top there, and that sucks. Because we're gonna be sitting our differential in place there, and then have to move that. Yep. I'm really unsure of a lot of things right now. It's so weird. Hey, what's up, Ben? How you doing, mate? Look, there's a ton of color. Le cul d'une Datsun. Front cam. Beau petit cul, là. Beau petit cul, là. Ah, le cul d'une Datsun, puis plein de pièces custom qui valent cher, qui ne fit pas. Ah, plein. On est en mars, tic-tac. Tic-tac, tic-tac, on est passé la mi-mars, c'est ce qui fait le plus peur. Il est où le moteur? Il est là. Front cam. Dual side. Dual side. Check. Il y a un moteur. Hey, ça, c'est l'étape de la semaine prochaine, to be fair. Peut-être même cette semaine si tout va bien. Parce qu'en gros, là, on a eu un délai d'1 semaine presque à cause qu'il me manque une pièce pour à l'intérieur ici. Il me faut le bearing de roue qui va à l'intérieur là. Boop. Pour pouvoir remettre le char sur ses roues, le sortir, le virer de bord, le rentrer. Puis ensuite de ça, on est correct. Mais regarde, hey, c'est beau là, check ça la suspension. Non, ça roule pas bien sans moteur, mais ça roule pas bien sans ordi non plus, puis l'ordi est toujours pas shippé, fait que check ça, comment c'est beau. But yeah, basically, right now the plan is quite simple. We're gonna, well, simple-ish. We're gonna finish the rear setup here, then we're gonna be switching the car, like flipping it 180 degrees, so the front is pointing towards the cam, and then after that we're gonna be installing the engine in it, transmission, like clutch, transmission, everything, pushing that in place, putting the transmission support in place and everything, and then we're gonna install the differential, take a measurement, send that to a shop to get a custom drive shaft done, and from there we're gonna be working on cooling system, exhaust system, and yeah, in the meantime I need to figure out for the brake system and stuff like that, but I think brake system is gonna be one of the last things to get done when I think of it, because it's depending a lot on whatever we want to put in there and how that's gonna work. Actually, well, no, those are good. I'm just thinking about still what's up with all that, the bracket at the back for the big brake and everything. I'm gonna have to write to Techno Toy and also to Apex Engineer, probably, like to both of them, to see what's up with that and what's the solution for that. Like technically I could, but you don't want to do that, but I could like drill the hole a bit bigger on the Techno Toy bracket and put a bigger washer, and it will do pretty much the same job, but that's if I have enough material to actually enlarge the hole there. That sounded weird, but yeah, so basically that's the idea. So next week, ideally we're gonna be putting an engine in it. Maybe we're gonna start this way. It's gonna depend on when my actual parts arrive for the wheel, because if it's there today like it's supposed to be, tomorrow we install that. We have for an hour or two doing that, and we will be pretty much done on a lot of things. And then fuel system, that's gonna be also something that's gonna have to happen soon. But for that, we're gonna install the fuel tank at the rear right here. Basically, it's going in that hole there. So all that's gonna be the fuel tank. Fuel tank is gonna be held in place and everything. And for the actual fuel system, we just have to figure out if we're going through here for the lines. Maybe it's gonna be that, then moving around here and going down there, or it's gonna get out here, move around here, and flip to the other side at some point. We're gonna see how the transmission and exhaust system is doing, but yeah, even that is gonna be maybe a call at the last minute for the lines, actually, because I can put everything in place here and get like the fuel tank and all of the main hardware in place, but I have to keep in mind I need to focus on where the exhaust system is gonna be in the transmission tunnel over there, because basically if it's on the left side, I need to put my lines, my fuel lines, as far as possible from that. The other also plan will be to make it go all the way through the top actually of the transmission tunnel, which could also put them high enough to be super protected from any debris or some stuff like that on the road, which will be quite great. I pretty much made my choice also to go with full braided line, PTFE braided line, which is going to be like safer and higher performance parts. So if one day we decide to convert to E85 to do a tune on that, well, it will be possible. Rah, that's super solid. Feel like I have a bunch of stuff to do and write to people and order, and I don't know what to do right now. Who's in here? Who wanted to have a chat? Front cam. Who wants to chat a little bit? Because right now I'm lost on what I want to do. I'm just like, because nothing is working as intended. Caribou. Whoo. t'as encore 30 minutes, ben jase-moi ça pendant 30 minutes, parce que je pense qu'après, ça va être la fin du stream pour aujourd'hui, parce que... Oh, you know those days? On a des animes, ouais! Le projet que j'oublie qui existe. Mais c'est vrai qu'ils ont l'air très hot, j'ai hâte de voir, j'ai hâte que tu me fasses un update. Yep, there's days like that. It's just like, you know, wheels, big break and wheels. I knew, and that's why the title is so like random today on the stream. It's like I knew I was trying to fiddle around with a bunch of stuff. Like the big break, I was okay with the wheels not fitting, but now having like lining up problem, like bolt not lining up, and just fitment problem on the actual parts, missing components, it just sucks a little bit. It's just like one of those days, like freaking belt that's broken and stuff like that. That's rough. That's just like one of those days where you're like, oh, that's what a project car is like. Okay then. But yeah, I know it's for the greatest part of it. Oh, we can talk about wheel actually. I want your input on that. J'ai jamais appliqué, man. Vous n'avez pas trouvé encore? Il y avait 40 applications. Work wheels. I'm gonna show you what I'm thinking about for my wheels on the Datsun. Mais quand même. Ah, ok, yeah. Mais quand même, tu sais. Oh, those are sexy. All right, so for the wheels, let's chat about wheels because we're gonna have to change them for sure now. So might order them soon because that can take up to 3 months to arrive, which is not really what we want because that's not working with our deadline. But hey, so the one we have right now are similar to that. The only difference being these, the one that I have on the Datsun are replicas. These ones are the true thing. The real damn good thing. So this is what we're looking for right here. Basically, I can have in 14 inches and 15 inches. Not really what we're looking. 14, we already have a fitment issue with that. So yeah, wasn't the first deadline end of summer. I'm sure you can make them fit a new deadline. In a new deadline, yeah, I mean, fair. But a lot of things went differently in the end, so it's no big deal. So the one I was looking for was the 15x9 right here. And I was looking for the one with the big caliper mentioned here in minus. I love that emote so much. It's so good. So yeah, so basically right here, the big caliper, I'm looking for maybe -9 or +4 of offset. So that will be such a cool one. Like it will be wild. Actually, it's that line here. So yeah, probably 10 or -3, something like that, to get a proper offset and everything. I need to measure everything in here, but I have a pretty good idea right now because I know my 7 inches that I have. Do you know, guys, how wheels actually work? That's the first question. I don't have the bracket to measure it. That will be the best. But when we look at it, the folder was so expensive to print it yourself. It was like, it wasn't like $50 or something for just having the file. All right, what are we looking at here? So, when we are talking wheels, 3 measurement, the diameter, which is the one the people are the most used to, 15 inch, 16 inch, stuff like that. You have a wheel fitment tool. That's how do you like it? Because there's one you can 3D print yourself on the cow, and basically Jeff has a 3D printer. So I was thinking about asking him if he would like to do that for me, and basically that will be like an awesome tool. But I'm just unsure. Like if it's worth paying the price for that tool. Like honestly, the tool itself, the 3D folder, the 3D file to print it was like quite expensive if I remember correctly, and I was like, dude, that's like not fun. And like you don't have the bolts and hardware and anything with that, like you have to guess pretty much everything. So I wasn't sure. Yeah, there's one called. Did you went into the welcome thingy and click the emote? Let me show you. If you click the emote of the TV, you're gonna have a media share at some place. So right here, don't switch. If you go in here in the welcome here, you can click that TV emote and it's gonna unlock the lobby of the crew like that. And there's vehicle pics and our media share. So you can just throw that somewhere in there, it's all good. By the way, have you seen what Raminta did for us? What she did is amazing. Look at this. Raminta went nuts on that drawing. Yesterday when she asked a picture, that was to do that, and she did that as a gift for the channel. It's probably going to be the banner of the channel within a week or two. I just want to tweak a few things in there, but it's so good. And honestly, I just can't tell you the feeling, like the feeling you get when someone take time of their own to make a fan art of the work you're doing. It's insane. The feeling is something else. Like, it's kind of unbelievable. Like, this is my little project, my little baby for the last 10 years. And like, I wanted to spend that much time, and like feeling like someone also feel that vibe and like want to do something about it. I was like, oh my God, that's heartwarming so much. It's so good. But yeah, only cow, if you can send me that, I will be really curious. For the other people in here that are not car people, let's look at this. So there's 3 measurements. The first one is, well, technically a little more than that, but yeah. Diameter, the diameter, you're used to that when you're buying tires. You're looking, oh, I have 17 inches wheel, so I'm gonna grab some 17 inches tires. Makes sense there. Right now what we have is 15 inches. So the one from work, they are also some 15 inches. So far not too bad. Then you had the width, and the width here is, well, it's telling you that what we have right now is 7 inches width of wheels on the Datsun. So you can have tires that are a bit wider or a bit narrower than the wheels itself. You're gonna get what we call stretch, or you're gonna have like proper fitment or whatever, so you can play with that. From there, the offset back spacing. This is the interesting part with it. A wheel is made in a way that where it sits against the hub, so that line right here, is the offset is the difference between that part here and the actual center of the wheel. So that red line in the middle here with the horizontal one crossing it right there, this is the middle of the wheel. So if that was 7 inches wide, well, this to the back is 3.5 inches, this to the front is 3.5 inches, right? And so the measurement of the back spacing is in millimeter, and it is the difference here. So usually if a wheel is getting pushed to the front of the car, so well, let's say it different, a little bit differently. If the hub here and the wheel were sitting flush together at exactly the center, that will be what we call a +0 of offset, because you have basically no difference in here in space. if you are pushing the hub towards the outside, which means the wheel, like the surface, the contact surface of the wheel is a bit towards the outside, that's gonna be a positive measurement, because the most of the wheel, that measurement here, is gonna be inside the car and not towards the outside of the car. So that's positive. Here, that could be like plus 35 millimeter of offset. On the opposite side, if you want the wheel to stick out of the car a bit more, you can have a center that is behind the center of the wheel, which means you're gonna have a negative offset. If you have follow up to that, well, this is where we're gonna play with how to make the car actually looks good and have the biggest tire possible. Because basically, to be legal, you need to be flush to the fender, but not going outside of it. We have the possibility to maybe add fender flare on top that will expand the fender itself, which allows you to put bigger tire, even like bigger tire, which could work. But basically, we could do that, measure what is the spacing that we have left here, and measure the space we have until we hit the coilover at the back, and just keep a bit of a safety, like a safe zone back there. And basically that will give us the width that we can have in that car. With that said, once you have that measurement, you can also check what is the measurement of the offset to fit perfectly at the front and everything, and that way you could actually figure out the exact spot-on wheel that you need in there to make the best fitment possible. So that's a really geeky thing to do, but when you have that figure out, that allows you to run no spacers, which is better for bearing durability and performance, reliability in the car. It allows you to also basically have the exact fitment with the widest possible tire on there. So that's really just a must do there. I'm gonna go take a look at what you just sent me. But so basically that means also you have to make sure you have everything that you need in hand, like all the data in hand to know what's up with that. Okay, you bought the actual kit for that. That's cool. You bought like a legit kit. How much was it, if you don't mind sharing? How much was that? Because that one you have all the hardware and everything, right? Because oh yeah, that's the thing. Most of them, most of the actual setup like that I've seen, they were for 5 bolts pattern, like not 4 bolt patterns. So that was also a downside to it. Now let me show you again another thing here. For those wondering what is that I just showed you, this is what Only Cal sent to the Discord there, that thing. So that thing here, basically, it's a tool that allows you to set up that, to see what is the distance between your fender and your suspension, and have everything set up to run the biggest wheel possible, the best fitment. $90 Canadian, not too bad, honestly, not too bad. So you see, you can set it up to like 18, 17, 16. Some of them you can even put the wheel like the tire on top to see if it's fitting. So that's quite a nice tool. But that's the idea, and that's like quite nice, to be fair. So you have ET, it is the offset, and so you have the measurement on top. You can put that up to the actual fender and everything. So that's really nice, honestly. So see, this is like just doing that thing here. That's sick. He went with the tool and had the perfect measurement. Wow. That's really like a sick tool. I would like to have that. I just feel like it's so expensive for what it is. I'm gonna take a look at that. 4 and 5, that's cool. That's actually really cool. So yeah, so this is the wheel I was looking at. I need to contact them again because I already did that one time, but I need to contact them to know the clearance inside for the actual big caliper thingy here to see what's the clearance in the middle, because basically right now it's more the inside of 15 inches that seems to be a problem, not really like the outside of it. So that's a thing. Now if we go back on the different product, can I see all of them? Yep. There's not a lot of style that I appreciate a lot for the car. The only other one, okay, I'm gonna say it though, the Equip, why? Oh, it's that Equip one. The Equip 40 like that, these are Equip 40 Datsun. Honestly, my girlfriend is not a fan, but I will rock those wheels for sure. This is mental. I love the vibe of it. It's so freaking cool. Let me know what you think of these, but honestly, personally, gold with maybe the bronze lips on the other side like that, oof, I think I will rock those wheels any day. I feel like they look insane. It's really like old school JDM freaking wheels. That's a 280 ZX with them. They look great. Too much stance for me though, but like they look really great, honestly. So I will rock those wheels, to be fair, but again, same problem. Only in 15 inches, so we're not having clearance at all. Like, it's hard to tell, is it going to work or not, because we have the dip rim and the standard, we don't have big caliper with those ones. Wrong tab that I close. Now, what is the other option? It's not like I don't need absolutely some work, but I feel like Work has one of the best tiles out there to my taste, and the Meister will be probably the go-to in 17 inches. These ones, but again, they are not optional PCD. Yeah, we can get them in 4x114, so it's good. The Meister like that, I feel like they are just looking awesome. There is a bunch of cool setup with that, and the Meister S1 Datsun. Let's check if some Datsun rock them. It's just like less era appropriate, I will say, but like, okay, that's not the one. A good set of Meister like that, I feel like it's looking decent on the Datsun. If I had the gold star at the middle, like we are rocking right now and everything, I feel like that's quite decent. I don't know what you think about it, but yeah, for me that's quite a win, but it has something a bit less special, but that will allow us to rock like the proper set of wheels. Like these kind of wheels are looking great. So yep, that's the big dilemma right there, because the Meister like that will be probably the best bang for bucks for having proper fitment, great wheels possibility there. Like the great tire range of and variety out there. That's what I meant, like having performance tires in 17 inches will be way easier. It's just like 17 inches feels a bit big for that car, but hey. Gonna have to make a decision. Whoop. Let me know what you think about that. Honestly, I'm curious to know. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough answer to find. I think that might be my afternoon actually. I might like leave sooner than go straight to eat something and go on the computer right to Technotoy, right to Apex Engineer. I'm gonna send them basically the same email, just saying, hey, I bought your kit and I have Apex Engineer control arm. And for Apex Engineer, I'm gonna be, hey, I bought your kit and I bought the Technotoy tuning big break kit, and I've seen on your website you were like having these together and it's not fitting on my side. How come? And so I will take a look at all that and see what's up with that problem here. Then we're gonna take a look at also refunding the belt and buying a new one. The new one, I will probably go with just a little bit longer than what we had. I need to take it out of the package and take picture of that too, actually. And after that, yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for today, because we're just a bit stuck. Like, there's plenty of stuff I could do. I just don't feel like starting anything new. I want to get all that done, and I will probably start checking a bunch of wheel setup. Welcome to doing some custom stuff. Oh, and I need to write about also the wheelwood missing hardware on the rear caliper, but like, yeah, otherwise everything seems great. So I think I'm gonna go on that, guys. I love you all, but I need to go and figure out all those stuff, and I'm gonna complete. Actually, this afternoon it's gonna be like just the backstage stuff where I'm spending like a couple hours putting everything together and making sure we are ready to go for the next few weeks. I'm gonna buy the fuel system and stuff like that. So yep, that's gonna be, I think, the best plan, because right now everything is a shit show in here, and we're just gonna leave that aside and not get mad about it. Everything's gonna work eventually. We just need to be calm, to be chill, and to do some sparkling heart and chat, just like Hawk is doing. So on that, guys, I love you all. Thank you for the stream this morning. Honestly, I appreciate having you all here. I'm gonna check also for the wheel fitment tool. Maybe I'm gonna buy it. So honestly, you are amazing, all of you. Thank you so much, and sorry for the small short stream today. Those days happens. We're gonna figure out everything and come back stronger. So on that, I'm wishing you a wonderful day. See you later. Mwah. Bye.